Hi guys, welcome back. Welcome to Coding Ambitions. So in this video we will learn about Gemini AI, how we can use the Gemini AI in Compose Multiplatform, or you can say Kotlin Multiplatform, right? In one of the previous videos, I explained how we can use the Gemini AI API in Jetpack Compose, right? So UI part we will be keeping the same. So we will be keeping the UI part from that code. So I'll be using the UI part from there, and I'll be just going through that. But all the other things we'll be using the air libraries and all other things we'll be doing for Kotlin Multiplatform, right? I'll be using that UI just to save the time, because if something we have already built, we should use that UI. So why we should do that again, right? So you can just change that UI according to your requirement later on. So let's continue with that. First of all, let's the Google Generative AI. There we use the Google Generative Android, but now we will be using this Generative AI KMP, right? So Generative AI SDK for Kotlin Multiplatform, right? It supports all targets. So let's first of all add this. Let's pick up the version. Okay. So this is the version. Okay, cool. And let's add all of the dependencies as well. We will be using the coil for the loading the image, which we will be showing. So if you see, coil 3 has been supporting the Kotlin Compose Multiplatform now, right? So we can use that. So you can see this part io.coilkt has been renamed to coil io.coilkt.coil3, and rest of the things will be same, and version will also be different for Compose Multiplatform, right? So if you see, so we can use so this version, like even not this one, we can check out the version directly on its GitHub as well. Yeah, but let's copy this part, and it will be the coil compose actually implementation compose, right? If you see here, so you can see it's coil compose, right, for coil. But now for coil 3 we can check up the latest version here. So let's check it out. Releases, and yeah, here it goes. Let's pick it up and let's add it here. Yeah, so and then okay, cool. And now we can add one more library. Basically we will be using the Moco MVVM for that, because we will be using the copying the data from the Jetpack Compose GeminiAI chatbot, which we built in the previous video. So that's why we will be looking to keep the things almost similar as much as possible. So let's copy this MVVM core. Okay, let's control delete and let's add it here. Okay, cool. So these dependencies are now here, and we can use one more. For the Android we use the native picker, right, for picking the images, but here we will be using the file picker. So this one is there. This picker is for multi-platform. So its latest version is 3.1.0, and let's copy it and add it. Okay, cool. So these 4 libraries are now added, and now let's try to sync it. Okay, so syncing is done. Let's move to the so now let's copy the UI part. So this app, this source code, how we did that, so everything is explained in my another video. We created it from scratch, so you can check out that video. So that is the GeminiAI chatbot in Jetpack Compose, so you can check out that tutorial first. So obviously it makes sense as well, so it will not be like bad to if you will be watching that video, because if you are watching this video, so it means you are already knowing about the Jetpack Compose. So few things you can cover up from there, but I will be going through them, like giving a brief overview here as well, not in the detail, but like little overview I'll be giving it here as well. But you can, if you want to learn about in detail, you can check out that video. I'll put link in the description for that video. So let's copy these things from here, because these things we will be keeping the same on screen. And yeah, I think it is fine. These two things will be there. So let's copy it here. If you okay, let's add. Okay, so if you see, we need to make few changes here, like change the package. Then let's change it here. Okay, cool. And now let's first make changes in the view model. So it will be importing the now view model from the Moco MVVM. Okay, if anybody don't know about like what is Moco MVVM, so it's the like we use the Android view model in the Android, so it's very similar to the Android view model. It provides view model for Kotlin Multiplatform. So we need to like make very minimum changes to migrate then. Okay, and then let's import these things. Now these things will be from the generative AI KMP, right? Not the generative AI Android. This is from generative AI. And now this thing, so we will be this key we will be using from the app config. I have specified the API key there, so you can copy your API key in this class in the API key constant, right? Try that. And so if you don't know how you can create key, so you will be checking, if you will be checking in my previous video, it's explained there how we can create the key, right? So let's now continue with another things. So let's import this function content as well. And let me explain a few things. So basically in if in the Jetpack Compose, what we were using is, it was the image and it was of the bitmap type right there. But now here it's not of bitmap, because that is not supported by the Kotlin Multiplatform, like for iOS and or other platforms. It's so not the same thing. So that's why, to provide consistency between them, so here we will be using the platform image actually, and that platform image is accepting the byte array basically here. So even we can name it byte array. So this list will be of byte array type, and that byte array, sorry, this one, that byte array will be going here. So that platform image is accepting the byte array. So that is the common standard, like we can convert the image to byte array and then we can use in any platform, right? So this one is here, and so here we need to change that to byte array. This minor change will be there, and then yeah, we can use dot message directly here. And okay, so we can optimize imports first. Oh, let's quickly Yeah. So let's copy the UI part as well, and then I'll be closing that. Sometimes opening multiple projects can make the your system slow in the Android Studio. So let's copy this UI as well, and actually this is already copied. Yeah, I was confused. Yeah, it's already copied. So we can close that project. Okay, fine. So let's first of all finishing the view model. I think it's done. Let me quickly go through them. So this is simply a UI state. So if you are Jetpack Compose developer, so you might be knowing about this, why we use this. For this is the like state of the screen basically. For it can be the initial loading, success, error, depending upon that we can change the UI, right? So here what we are doing is we have created the generation config, right? So this is for the generative model. This is the config there, right? If we can specify generative config here, like config, we created this here. So temperatures, so you can check out that I explained this in the Jetpack Compose video, so you can check out it completely there. So what is the role of the temperature? Because as I said, so if you want to learn deep about this video, you can check out that video, then you can come to this, because if I will be explaining those things, it will be taking like very much time. Okay, so this is the which model we are using. So Gemini Pro Vision, so it will be accepting the text and image. So we can query the image, like we can ask the question about the image, right? If we don't want to use this, we can use the another model, Gemini Pro, right? So vision is for, this is for image. So and this is accepting 3 parameters, model name. So these were the parameters in the generative model, and then we are questioning here to the generative API, right? So this is accepting the user input text, and this is selected images, right, of type byte array, right? So first initial loading state is loading, and then we were triggering the API here, generate content stream. So then we will be updating the response once we are getting it back from the API, and so these things are there, right? So here what we need to do is we need to pass the content, right? That is the content type. It will be accepting the text or images there, right? These two things. Earlier it was accepting the expecting the bitmap types here, but now it requires platform image and byte array of image inside that as parameter, right? So now let's move back here to the screen, main content. So this screen, so basically we don't require these things now. Earlier we were building the image request there for converting them to the bitmaps or resizing those things, so we don't need them here. We will be updating it once we will be making changes in the below home screen, right? So let's continue. So this selected item will be of type not URI but byte array, right? So one question will be coming to your mind. So byte array, how we will be getting that byte array for the selected image, right? So for that we will be creating the one factory class, that is the expect class, and we will be implementing that in Android and iOS, right? Okay, so we can do this one as well. This custom saver is not needed anymore, but currently we will be byte array. Okay, and it can be remembered because you'll have to check if it is supported by that's remember savable or not. I don't think, otherwise we will need to create a custom saver for this, actually, for byte array. We'll be checking that later. And this picker, so this was for the Android, so we can completely remove it. And these things, so basically one more thing which I would like to add, so let's make it material 3 as well. Okay, and then sync it. let's optimize imports. Okay, it's not showing. Okay, cool. So it's asking for maybe material 3. Okay, so let's do refactoring like this, the shortcut for multi-line editing, and these things I think we can omit. I don't need them. Okay, and this we can optimize imports now if you see. Okay, cool. So it's collecting imports, taking some time. Let it take his time. Yeah, it's done now. So now this async image will be of coil 3, right? Because in Android it was coil.compose.async image, but now it's coil3.compose.async image, right? Now this Android view model, we will be passing it from the app content where we will be calling it, right? Must have a body. Okay, parameter issue. Okay, so these things will be similar, and this will be byte array. And so now we will need to use few changes here. So these changes will be related to the file picker, right? So now let's add code related to the file picker. So let's for that let's first of all add the file picker actually. Oops, file picker, and it requires one show variable. Let's set it true first, and here we can keep one variable, so that will be keeping track of if we need to show file picker or not. So it will be of type boolean. Initially it will be false, so we will be triggering it on the click when we will be fetching the images. Okay, right? Show file picker, and then let's add the other parameters. So one can be, if you see, file extensions. Yeah, so we can specify files, so we can specify list of, so it can be jpg. We want only images, so we can specify jpg and png. Okay, fine. What happened? Okay, we missed this code say. Okay, so this is for file extensions, files, or maybe we can say file types. I think it will be better name. Okay, and now inside this, so what we'll be doing is, so basically in the last parameter, if you see, on file selected callback is there, so it will be providing us the MP file. That will be the file we will be picking up from there, so that will be provided as a result here, right? So now what we can do is, even before doing this, so while we will be picking up this file, MP file, we need to convert that file to the byte array. For that we need to add one byte array factory here, as I mentioned earlier. So we need to convert the files according to the platform to the byte array. So that code will not be the common, it will be different for each platform, right? And even before that, let's remove these warnings. Dot top bar colors. Okay, UI related warnings, we can remove them. So this one can be removed. So here I think we can set show file picker true. Okay, whenever user will be clicking on the add image, and then okay, yeah, then I think it's fine. We will be checking these things later on. Okay, so now let's quickly create one expect class here. Okay, let's just name it expect, and here we can create byte array factory. Okay, and this class is expect, so it will be expecting its implementation from platform sides, right? And here we can add suspend function, so that will be of get byte array. Okay, so this function, so basically this function is a expect function actually. So this we will be implementing according to the platform for Android and iOS, right? For here we are working with the Android and iOS only, right? So we will be implementing the actual classes for this in Android and iOS main, right? So it will be accepting the emitter MP file of any type, because this is the generic type, so it requires any. We are not sure about what will be the type, so we can just take it any. Okay, and so it will be returning byte array that can be nullable. Okay, so now let's add the implementation for this. Let's in the Android main. Okay, so here we can create actual, so we will be defining all the expect and actuals inside these classes. That's why I'm giving it expect and actual name, because we can, if we will be giving the different name like byte array factory, so then there will be multiple files, but I want to like contain that logic inside one file. It will be better then. So if, because logic is not that much, so we can keep one single file, but if it's going to be very large, then we can create different files. Okay, so actual class byte array factory, and in Android side we can provide our context as well, which we will be requiring, right? Okay, suspend actual suspend function. Okay, cool. So for Android, so basically how we will be doing it. So for Android, what we need to do is basically it will be providing the URI path, right? So for that, first of all, let's get the URI parse. So this file dot path we can directly use, right? This path is of URI, right? In the Android platform, right? So then what we can do is we can create the input stream that we can get from context. So then we can create input stream that we can get from context dot content resolver dot open input stream for UI, because for URI if you want to open input stream, so we can get it from content resolver. That requires us context. That's why we pass the context here, right? So now let's pass that URI here, and then what we need to do is basically we can create one method as well here if we needed, or else we can directly stream dot use, and then we can use this input stream, and this input stream we will be using like it will be providing it dot buffered dot read bytes. It's pretty easy, right, to use it. Okay, so it will be the, yeah, okay, it's the nullable, so you can provide it, so it will be providing like this. Okay, cool. expected class in common main. That class is already there. Why it's saying actual expand function mp file any binary nullable. Why it's showing that? So not sure. So let's first of all finish it for iOS as well, then we will see, because there we already, oops, it's going inside this. No, it should not be inside this, it should be inside at the same package. Yeah, it will be going here because here we have created at the Kotlin root level. So in Android as well we need to edit at the Kotlin Android root level, right? That is the one of the requirements for expect and actuals. Path should be the similar, right? So this is done now, and let's copy it and let's add it inside iOS as well. It don't require any context. Okay, cool. And so for iOS basically it's a little bit tricky. It will not be that easier for you to understand, but I will try to explain it. It will be the NS URL for the iOS side. So and for that mp file.platform file. So platform file is the, like, for the Android side it will be the normal file from the picker, and then in the iOS side it will be NSI URL, and on the JavaScript and desktop it will be the their native file type, right? Here we can use it as NS URL, right? This is the native file for the iOS platform, right? So and then what we need to do is, for the byte array conversion in the iOS side it requires NS data, actually equivalent of byte array, actually that is okay. So that we need to create dot one method was there, yeah, this one with content of URL. So that file will be used here, NSI URL. So from the NSI URL, NS URL, we can create this NS data like this, right? And now this, let's remove this, and so here this is nullable, and we can apply let here once it is not null. So then what we can do is, so here what we'll be doing is NS data. Okay, so let's create byte array. So what will be the size of that? NS data dot length. So because that is the equivalent of byte array in the iOS side, so size will be similar, right? So this length to int, okay, because length is of type NSUI integer, so we need to convert that to the Kotlin int. Okay, so and then ERB, this is the object, yeah, so then we'll be applying. So on this byte array, this is just a simple object. First we created a byte array object of this much size, and it does not include anything now. It does not hold any data yet, right? Because we'll be copying that here. So for that we can use pinned method here. So that is the an extension inline function, actually. So on any type we can use this pinned, right? So this one is the implementation provided in the Kotlin native. So we can do this pinning basically. Okay, so this is kind of like first disposes the handle, it must not be used after that. So it will be kind of like we are the way we are using these things in the here, like input stream.use. This similarly for the iOS side we have created this in the Kotlin native, they have created this use pin, right? It will automatically disposing it after using, right? So for that type, now what we need to do is mem cpy copy. So it will be copying the it dot address of 0 index and then so if you check it, address of C pointer type, it will be returning this, and this will be getting the address from starting index, right? We'll be copying it. Okay, cool. And now so basically it is the destination, and then we will be giving the source ns data dot and data dot bytes. It will be providing the bytes as for to read. Those bytes will be copying inside the byte array for converting to the Kotlin byte array, right? For providing the compatibility for the Kotlin multi-platform, right? And then what we need to do is the size, that is length. Okay, so basically what it's showing, okay, this is the experimental API. So yeah, cool, it looks cool. So it's copying the so this is the destination part. For mem copy, this method copies the bytes, like some data from this source to destination, and how much data to copy, that is the length, right? Bytes, we need to copy these bytes of this much length to this destination address, right? So this is a little bit similar to the use extension. Okay, cool. So this one is done for iOS side as well. Now let's remove some imports, and now let's go back here and let's come to here. And so what we need to do is these URI will be of list of byte array. Okay, cool. So now we need to do is what, yeah, so we need to use coroutine scope, actually that is suspend function. So we can use that here, dot launch. So inside here what we'll be doing is, so we need to use that, so that MP file, and we need to convert that into the byte array, right? So if file it, we are using it like it, okay, not equal to, but not, so this will be, it's better if we give it an alias. Okay, MP file, okay, cool, MP file is not equal to null. Okay, then we will be proceeding, and what we'll be doing here is we will be just copying it. So what we can do is, let's byte array equal to yeah, so now the question arises, we need that byte array factory here, right? So let's pass it here, byte array factory. Okay, and this parameter we will be passing later on from app content, right? Dot get byte array, and then it can use MP file. Okay, cool. So this is the byte array, and now we can use it to the image URIs dot add that byte array. Okay, it's nullable, so we can add a null check here, so that it will be filtering. If it's not null only, then it will be adding. So we can make it even more readable, meaningful. We can give it a meaningful name, image byte arrays list, or you can just simply tag it images list. Okay, cool. So this is it, and now this part is also done. And so now what we need to do is, what else we need, image picker is also ready, and we have converted that to the, yeah. So here also what we need to do is one thing, once it has returned the result, we need to hide this file picker. Okay, cool. On whenever user clicking on the add image, it will be showing, and then after returning the result, we will be hiding it again. Okay, so now let's one more thing I would like to change, GeminiAI chatbot KMP Kotlin Multiplatform. It looks good, right? Okay, so now let's come here. So that list, images list, Okay, so it will be asking for the items lazy list scope. That's done. And that byte array here, so this async image will be remain same from the coil. Okay, cool. Yeah, everything looks good here. Now let's make changes here. So these selected items, now they are, and inside, like, what we can do is, so this is directly the list of byte array. Okay, we can pass directly them here. We don't need to do any conversion here. Okay, and here again we need to pass this byte array factory, and this we will be getting from the platform specific, right? Byte array factory. Okay, so this we will be passing here. Okay, cool. Now this part is done, I think. Let's go to the calling site. For Android it was here, and just let's disabling the preview as of now. Home view model, home view model, let's create that here. And then second parameter will be byte array factory, that will be byte array factory, and it will be requiring the context. We can pass the base context here. Okay, cool. Now let's call this inside the iOS side as well. Here if you go, we can call it here, and it does not require any context, so that's it. Let's try to run it. Okay, so it's successful now. That build is okay. So let's try to experiment. If we click here, okay, so nothing is happening. Okay, so let's check it. I think something is missing, maybe somewhere. So let's try to check it. When user is clicking on the add image, what's happening? Okay, so we are setting it true. Okay, so I think we just used it like a simple variable. By remember, we need to remember its state. Okay, mutable state of false. Okay, it should be fine now, I think. Let's try it. Just let's copy this image and let's ask it to create maybe some notes. Some issue is there. Let's check it. Oh, permission issue is there. It usually happen most of the time. Use this permission internet. Okay, let's check it again. Or maybe can check this, which place this image is taken at. Okay, you can see it's calling the API now, generative AI. Okay, request payload. Sorry. Okay, so it's saying request payload size exceeds the limit, so that issue may be there, so we need to upload the little small image. So for that, what we can do is either we can before whenever user will be giving us the image, we can calculate its size and prompt the user to it should be like less than that size, or other thing we can directly implement that thing in the coding side, like well when we will be expecting the image so from the user, so once it will be returning here, or maybe we will be cropping that, or maybe compressing that itself here. So two options are there. Let's copy this, and it is some notes are written on it. So let's say it like what notes are written on it. Okay, now let's check it. If you see, it is a notes about the laws of motion. These are some definitions and examples of forces. So these things are written on it. So it answered that, right? So it's working fine now on Android, and now we can check it on iOS. One question. So that let me explain one thing about this. So basically this temperature, just let me give you quick overview. Less value means less creativity. It will be more focused, right? Less creativity and more focused. And high value means high creativity and less focused, right? This controls the creativity actually of the, right? We can keep it like medium, right? Mostly. Okay. Okay, cool. More you can read about it maybe on the generative AI SDK on the Google. Let's run it on iOS. Okay. Unresolved reference. Okay. So we didn't delete it. Let's just delete it. And let's optimize imports here. Actually, it's not needed now. We can even delete it. And even we can give it name. App content. Let's run. Meanwhile it's running, let me quickly go through this UI as well, which I have created in Jetpack Compose tutorial for GeminiAI. So it's nothing, just simple a scaffold is there, and then we have set the top bar, then we have bottom bar, right? Inside the bottom bar we have this column, and inside that first we have this row for that input text, right? And then this is the list of images which we are displaying there. Okay, this is depending upon the number of images we are selecting. Okay, cool. And then it's just simple a column here, right, on the main, where we are displaying the content, which the response which we are receiving from the generative AI, right? And here according to the state we are showing, like if it's loading or if it's success, if it's error, right? So this is about the UI. And again, why we have used this byte array factory, because in this generative AI we need byte array, that is the common standard, right? We can use for images. So for that we need to convert the picked images to the byte array, because according to each platform that is not providing us to directly byte array, right? So we need that platform specific implementation. That's why we have implemented that, right? Now let's check it. Okay, let's pick it up. Let's pick this image. So these images I have already dragged in this simulator, so you can also drag them after downloading. So what is written on this? Okay, if we ask it like this, let's see what it answers. Yeah, it's cool. So this is written on that image. Amper improving the build tooling user experience JetBrains. So this is the image related to the JetBrains. So yeah, that's fine, it's working fine. And so yeah guys, this is all about, you can try this image as well. What is written on this, let's check it. So this is all about this Gemini AI, how we can use that in Compose Multiplatform. Here we have covered the Android and iOS, so you can try them on, if required, on web and desktop as well, just by adding the target. So for the WASM it will not work, because few libraries don't have support for WASM yet, so that's why I haven't covered that. But for the Kotlin JS you can add implement this, right? So these libraries, they don't have support yet for WASM, few libraries, right? So what we can do is, you can check out my video on how to add web JS target, Kotlin JS target in Compose Multiplatform. After adding that target, and then you can try out this byte array factory implementing there, and then doing this running on the web if required. That's depending upon you. So this is all about the creating the GeminiAI chatbot in the Compose Multiplatform for Android and iOS. Actually I wanted to cover it for Android and iOS, right? So that's it guys about this. I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. If you liked it, please share, like and comment on it. That will motivate me. And if you are new to my channel, please subscribe. So that's it guys from this video. I will see you in the upcoming video. Till then, bye bye, take care, have a great time, keep coding.